Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Thanks so much for joining us to meet a few of the writers who contribute the great posts you can read on TCM.com's blog dubbed Movie Morlocks, which you can find at moviemorlocks.com. Four of them are film, and right now we have one of those Morlocks, Pablo Kjølseth. Welcome, Pablo.
Thank you for having me.
Pablo has chosen a sci-fi horror movie from the Hammer Studios in 1967 with Andrew Keir playing the British professor Bernard Quatermass. It's 5 million years to Earth. Before we get into the movie, where are you located?
Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And what day do you blog?
Every other Sunday.
Every other Sunday. Mm-hmm. When did you first see this movie?
So I first saw this film probably around 1974 or something like that. It was playing in the oldest auditorium in Boulder, Colorado. It's this big cavernous space atop a hill. And I'm not joking when I say that it actually had bats flying in the rafters. So it was the perfect place to see this film. Boulder's also got a bit of a reputation for being a bit kooky and sci-fi connections. Mork and Mindy was filmed there, so it was an appropriate, I think, choice. Yeah.
So what about this movie do you like so much?
Boulder is an academic town. And my father is a professor. And the lead, Quatermass, is a professor. And I really like the idea of having a protagonist who's searching for truth. And one of the things I really think is fascinating about the Quatermass series is that basically they're looking for ways of explaining things like demons and ghosts, but in a rational way. And I think it had some pretty far out ideas in terms of seeing the film yet. Yeah.
How many times have you seen this movie?
Quite a few,
yes.
Probably like 3 or 4. And I have to say that it's and it always brings me some joy. Like it brings something new to the table. The first time I saw it, I have to admit, I didn't know what was going on, especially as you get toward the climactic scenes toward the end. And I was just confused, but I was scared too. It scared the pants out of me. I mean, so it made an impression. But then when I saw it later as a college student, what I was really impressed with was this whole idea of that it's addressing evolution and things that have affected the human condition from outer space. I thought that was just kind of trippy. Plus the idea of trying to explain away mob mentality. And that's the thing about Quatermass that I think is kind of interesting, is that if you look at the films, the 3 feature films, alien possession is basically center stage. And in the first film, it's alien possession of an individual. In the second film, it's alien possession of government. And then in the third film, it's alien possession in all of us. So I think that's a really interesting concept.
Well, let's see the movie. Here from 1967, directed by Roy Ward Baker and chosen by Movie Morlock, Pablo Kjølseth. Here's 5 million years to Earth. Interesting movie, certainly. And I'm here with the man who chose it for us, TCM.com blogger Pablo Kjølseth. Now, has this movie influenced later movies, do you think?
I think so. I see an influence definitely with Alien. And in fact, O'Bannon has directly cited the Quatermass films as an influence on Alien. And in fact, some of the other films that he's worked on, like Life Force. And then there's also, of course, 2001. Space Odyssey, the entire idea of like a mysterious black object that's unearthed from underground that carries with it some deeper meanings regarding the evolution of mankind. And I also think it's influenced Steven Spielberg, because if you see Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's almost impossible not to notice that the moment when the Nazis, face melts when the Ark of the Covenant is opened up. And there's a similarity that we see there at the end of Quatermass and the Pit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now there have been several Quatermass movies, right?
Yeah.
Do you like this guy playing Quatermass more than the others, or?
I
How
do.
does he rank?
Yeah, no, I actually like him quite a bit.
Brian Donlevy played one
Right.
time, right?
Yeah, he actually played him both times in the previous Quatermass films, the feature films, not the TV series. And I have to agree with the critics who think that Brian's character was maybe a little stiff. But I like the professor to be a little bit more human. In the pit. Not only do I just love the film, but you know, it was released in 1967, which is the same year that I was born, so I'm kind of have an affinity to it for that reason. But also, it takes place in the underground, and like the movie Morlocks, Morlocks are an underground creature. So I think it's fitting in that way, and it's scary and it's fun, and I'm just glad to share it.
Great. Well, thanks for bringing it to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your good work.
Thanks for having me.
And keep doing it.
I will.
Okay, good. And be sure to read Pablo's latest posts every other Sunday on moviemorlocks.com. Well, that wraps up this month's guest programmer series, but don't worry, we have more movies straight ahead. And as promised always, they come with the TCM guarantee, meaning you'll see them uncut and commercial-free. Enjoy.